Telepathy and the Early Mind Wars by Richard Allen Miller. I first became aware of Alan H. Frey's work at Willow Grove in 1972, just after completing the holographic concept of reality. I was working with Dr. Carl Scheicher, MRU at the time, and was asked about the significance of this work. Realizing its possible use in mind control, my first reaction was to go on red alert. Full significance was not yet understood at this time. Basically, Frey had discovered another sensory motor input in the higher blue band frequencies of 0.3 to 3.0 gigahertz. At very low amplitudes of power, it was as if we had another type of vision, but did not know how to see what was being received. It constituted the next generation of subliminal communications. My work at the time was involved with an AI database for paranormal references, Project Paraphile. A second paper was also presented at the Omniversal Symposium, California State College at Sonoma, September 29, 1973. This was titled Embryonic Holography and was an application of the holographic concept of reality model. It dealt with biogenesis and neurological regeneration, and included speculation on the origins of cancer, faith healing, psychic surgery, and more technical aspects of mind-body energetics. 1 week after the delivery of that paper, 4 men came into my place of business, 2 in suits and 2 in full Army dress. The 2 suits held me under close arrest, while the 2 Army personnel went through my files, pulling anything related to embryonic holography. The paper was rewritten from old notes and memory, but it was not the same. What got this paper classified top secret for almost 20 years was that it was critical for the use of Alan Frey's study and its possible application to mind control. I never was able to draw what was so important in that initial paper until I began researching this paper more than 24 years later. I will discuss those aspects further into this document. In 1961, Alan Frey, a freelance biophysicist and engineering psychologist, reported that humans could hear microwaves. Most United States scientists dismissed this discovery as the result of outside noise. James C. Lynn offered a more technical description of the experiment. Frey found that human subjects exposed to 1310 megahertz and 2,982 megahertz microwaves at average power densities of 0.4 to 2 milliwatts per square centimeter perceived auditory sensations described as buzzing or knocking sounds. The sensation occurred instantaneously at average incident power densities well below that necessary for known biological damage and appeared to originate from within or near the back of the head. Pulsed microwave technology. Pulsed microwave voice-to-skull or other sound-to-skull transmission was discovered during World War II by radar technicians who found they could hear the buzz of the train of pulses being transmitted by radar equipment they were working on. This phenomenon has been studied extensively by Dr. Alan Frey, Willow Grove, 1965, whose work has been published in a number of reference books. What Dr. Frey found was that single pulses of microwave could be heard by some people as pops or clicks, while a train of uniform pulses could be heard as a buzz without benefit of any type of receiver. Dr. Frey also found that a wide range of frequencies as low as 125 megahertz, well below microwave, worked for some combination of pulse power and pulse width. Detailed unclassified studies mapped out those frequencies and pulse characteristics which are optimum for generation of microwave hearing. Very significantly, when discussing electronic mind control, is the fact that the peak pulse power required is modest, something like 0.3 watts per square centimeter of skull surface, and that this power level is only applied or needed for a very small percentage of each pulse's cycle time. 0.3 watts per square centimeter is about what you get under a 250-watt heat lamp at a distance of 1 meter. It is not a lot of power. When you take into account that the pulse train is off, no signal, for most of each cycle, the average power is so low as to be nearly undetectable. This is the concept of spike waves used in radar and other military forms of communication. Frequencies that act as voice-to-skull carriers are not single frequencies, as for example TV or cell phone channels. Each sensitive frequency is actually a range or band of frequencies. A technology used to reduce both interference and detection is called spread spectrum. Spread spectrum signals usually have the carrier frequency hop around within a specified band. Unless a receiver knows this hop schedule in advance, like other forms of encryption, there is virtually no chance of receiving or detecting a coherent, readable signal. Spectrum analyzers used for detection are receivers with a screen. A spread spectrum signal received on a spectrum analyzer appears as just more static or noise. Part 1.